Hello and welcome. What I'm going to do today is I'm going to give you an awesome gift. I'm going to teach you a memory skill that you are going to have for the rest of your life, and I'm going to do that within 15 minutes. And then I'm going to teach you some mathematics as well. Before I carry on, first thing I want you to do is I need you to make your mind blank. Pooh, that was quick. No, I'm kidding. It's a joke. I'm kidding. Okay, seriously, make your mind blank. Imagine a blank sheet of paper and concentrate and listen to the words I'm going to tell you. I'm going to just mention a few things that I want you to try and remember. Let's see. Gun, shoe, tree. What about a door and a hive and some sticks and maybe heaven and a gate? What about a mine and a hen? That's enough for now. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to share with you principle and technique that you're going to have for the rest of your life. And I'm going to be upfront with you right now. I'm going to let you experience me as I teach and train, and I'm going to share with you and give you a life skill. But I'm going to give you the basics only. If you like what I'm doing, at the end of this, you are most welcome to take part in my advanced seminar and go full depth into it. But for now, I'm going to give you more than enough that you can utilize right now. Imagine being able to walk into any supermarket and remembering everything you've got to get without writing it down, or to not forget an appointment, or to really remember things you need to do in your day. Wouldn't that be great? I'm also going to teach you an 11 times table math skill. For example, that somebody can say to you, what's 23 by 11? And you can go 253. Immediately, fast, just like on a calculator, if not faster. This I promise to give to you. At the end, if you want to go further, that's fine. It'd be wonderful. We'll travel the journey together. If not, no obligation. I'm glad that I managed to share with you and give you something that you can utilize. So, let's start with the memory. Let's talk about the memory and how you can improve it. Most people say the older you get, there are two things that go. The first is your memory, and the second, I'm kidding. Okay. A lot of people have this view that the older you get, the worse your memory gets. Not at all. What I'm teaching you, you can now apply and learn as an 8-year-old and as an 80-year-old. The thing is, our brains don't get lazy. We just don't know where to store the information. When we have to remember things, we manage to get it into the mind, but we don't know where to find it. And this is what memory training and memory skills are all about, is teaching you a way in which to access that information instantly and to know where you put it. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to share with you a very basic and a very simple mnemonic system that's based on association. Now let me explain it in an even more simplistic term before I start. Imagine you had to go to a stranger's computer and find a certain file. There's a certain process you would follow. You'd click on My Computer, My Documents, and so you'd go down until you find what you're looking for. And this is the same with the mind. You have to store the information in a specific place so that you can access it instantly. The first piece of information must go into file 1, the second into file 2. What you need to do is you need to create a filing cabinet in your mind. Do you know those old office filing cabinets, those steel filing cabinets? Yeah? That's what you need to do. You open the drawer and there are files, and in each file, as you get the information, logically and sequential, you place the information in it. That's how it works. So we have to create a filing system in your mind. I want you to get a piece of paper, and I want you to write down numbers 1 to 10, and I named exactly 10 items to you. And I want you to write down the 10 things I named to you. But here's the catch. In the sequence and order that I named them. What was the first thing I named? The fifth thing, the fourth thing, the eighth thing in that sequence. Has to be exactly opposite the number. I'll give you a moment to do that. You can switch off now. You're done. Awesome. Great. So you've written that down. Now I'm going to go through them, and please note, the first thing I named was a gun. If you've got shoe or mine or hen, it's wrong. It must be a gun. Okay? The next thing was a shoe. The next item was tree. The next was door. The next was a hive, as in a beehive. Then it was sticks, number 6, that was sticks. then it was heaven, then it was gate for number 8, then it was mine for number 9, and for number 10, hen. Now, I'm curious to know how many you got right. Odds are, I'm going to guess that you got about 2 or 3 right maximum. And right now you'll be too embarrassed to admit that you did. I'm hoping that you were honest with yourself. If not, go back and remark it and be honest with yourself. It is important for me that you've got a before and an after assessment of what I'm teaching you. The average person will get about 2 or 3 right. If you got more right, then you realize what I was doing, then maybe it was luck, or maybe you understand the system. But the normal person will get 2 or 3 right. If you've got maybe only 1 right or something, then we're really going to have to work on your memory skills. What I did is I used a simple rhyme association system method called mnemonics. And all the words that I chose are words you can picture in your mind. 1, what rhymes with 1? Gun. What rhymes with 2? Shoe. With 3, tree. With 4, door. If you only got 2 right, you're kicking yourself now that you didn't cotton onto that and got more right. Okay. 5 was hive, as in beehive. 6 was sticks. 7 was heaven. 8 was gate. 9 was mine. 10 was hen. Really easy. Now what we've done, whether you got them all right or not doesn't matter. I'm now assuming you only got 2 or 3 right, which is great. In 10-15 minutes from now, we're going to do this with total different words and you're going to get them all right. So, what we've done now is we have created a filing cabinet in your mind with 1 drawer with 10 files in it. File number 1 has a picture associated with it, which is a gun. File number 2, what rhymes with 2, is a shoe. So file number 2 is a picture, a shoe. Each file has a picture associated with it, which you don't really have to remember, which is logical. File number 3 has a picture of a tree, number 4 a door, 5 a hive, 6 sticks, 7 heaven, 8 gate, 9 mine, 10 hen. So each file, you can actually look at the cover as having those pictures on. These mind files will never change. The pictures will always remain the same for this course here, for this basic course. Now, at this point, we're going to come up with 10 new things that you've got to do or remember. Now at this stage, I have a request, and that is, please do not switch off this video within the next 10 minutes. You are going to be so tempted to switch it off. You're going to think I'm crazy, that I've lost it, that some screws have fallen out. Well, they have, I admit that, but don't switch off, because what I'm going to do now is completely out of the norm. You may not see the reasoning behind it, but in 10 minutes time, when I start explaining why I did certain things, the light's going to go on and you're going to go, it's going to be like an aha moment. So I beg of you, bear with me. At this moment, you have a filing cabinet in your mind, which you never had before, with 10 files in it. Now you've got to remember stuff. You've got to get new information. The first thing you've got to do today, in your day, is get milk. So, that's number 1 that you've got to do. So where do you store that information that you have to go and get milk? You store it in mind file number 1. Now what is mind file number 1? Is the gun. You've got a picture of a gun for your first mind file. You can picture milk. Now what you've got to do is you've got to associate these 2 things, but here comes the kicker. You've got to associate them in the most crazy, ludicrous, mad, ridiculous way possible. And most of all, you've got to see if you can put yourself in the action as well. The more senses you include, the better. So, as an example, I'm going to explain the first few to you, and then you can see if you can catch up with me or be on par with me and actually come up with your own examples. And the more you practice this, it'll become easy. So I imagine myself, because I have a gun and milk, shooting the milk. It's either old or like I'm using it in the supermarket as target practice, but I just imagine something whacked out which would never be in real life, of me just maybe throwing the milk in there and shooting the carton and it's spraying all over and the milk is coming all over me or whatever. Just visualize that. Can you put yourself in that picture? Right, forget about it. The second thing you need to do today is fill up the car. So you either need to get fuel, or you've got one of those electrical cars now and you need to go and plug it in and charge the car up. That's the second thing you need to do. You can't forget that. So what is mind file number 2? 2, shoe. Right, it's shoe. So now, imagine yourself at a fuel station, putting the fuel in a shoe, in your shoe, filling your shoe up, or sticking the charger into your shoe. Something stupid, and everybody looking at you, what's his problem or her problem? Okay? You imagine that? Forget it. What's the next thing we've got to do today? I've got to go to the doctor. I was at the doctor the other day. He said to me, Wolfgang, I haven't seen you for weeks. I said, I know, I've been sick. No, okay, I'm going to start. Right, so, I've got to make an appointment at the doctor, and let's say it's 10 o'clock. What is mind file number 3? Tree. So now I can picture a tree, a normal tree. I can picture a tree with 10 branches because it's 10 o'clock the appointment. Or I can picture myself with a stethoscope listening to the tree, or there are 10 apples or 10 oranges and I'm listening to each one. I'm putting myself in the picture with a stethoscope. Or I picture my doctor actually next to the tree in my garden going, you know, your tree's not very healthy or whatever. Picture something crazy, right? Have you got that? Throw it away. Next thing I have to do in my day is, I have to buy a new shirt. Right. So, mind file number 4. What's mind file number 4? What is door? So now I picture a door in my shirt. So I can, instead of a pocket, a door, I can access stuff quickly. A door at the back. A door in the shirt is a crazy thing anyway, okay? So picture that, picture yourself opening it, putting stuff in there, your wallet in it. Action, always good, make it crazy. Right, fetch it, get rid of it. Next thing I've got to do is, let's see, what's it? I've got to fetch the children from school. Do you know, when I do this live, how many people actually say that? I'm like, you forget to fetch your kids from school, but people need to remember this, especially if it's at 2:30 or 1:30 or whatever. So you have to fetch your kids from school. What is mind file number 5? It's a hive, a beehive. So you can imagine your vehicle, your car, in the shape of a hive with bees buzzing around it, or you can imagine a whole swarm of bees chasing your kids and you've got the door open. Jump in and you're going to close the door. Put yourself into action, make it mad. The next thing we need to do is go see our bank manager. We need a loan. I was with my bank manager the other day, and he said to me, Wolfgang, pull up a chair. Relax, sit down. I said, no thanks, I'm comfortable on my knees. Oh, we can relate, can we? Okay, so the 6th thing you have to do in your day is go to the bank manager. Mind file number 6 is 6 sticks. So now, this is funny because you can make this as crazy as possible. You can imagine the bank manager hitting you with a 6. Are you going to pay the payments back, the repayments back in time? Or you can imagine yourself hitting him, well, why'd you give me the loan? You can make it as crazy as you want to, but bank manager, okay, ditch it. The 7th thing I've got to do or get or buy is broccoli for dinner tonight. Mind file number 7 is 7, heaven. Heaven! So I have a picture of heaven, of angels on a cloud. So I now picture all the angels eating broccoli. Or the clouds are made of broccoli. Or I'm going, would you like some broccoli? I put myself in it. All better, funny, crazy. We got that? Easy. Picture that, visualize this with all your senses. Smell what it's like. Hear the sounds around you. More is always better, right? You got it? I have to send an email to Greg. I mustn't forget that I have to send a proposal to Greg on email. Mind file number 8 is gate. Okay? So gate and an email to Greg. I can now, if we all picture how we send emails, there's the little envelope and the sound and off it goes. What about having a gate on the computer where you actually open the gate on your screen and shove the email in like manually, like snail mail, like in Old Post, okay? And you can, in bold letters, see it's addressed to Greg. Picture that. Picture yourself in it, crazy, opening the computer screen and putting the mail in there. How mad is that? That was the 8th thing you've got to do today. Now the next thing you've got to do is, it's your anniversary tonight. You've got to buy flowers. What's mind file number 9? Is a mine. Oh, what a great combination. You can get awesome association. You didn't bring your wife flowers and she's laid mines everywhere that you didn't give her flowers. It's going to blow you up. Okay, make it funny, make it crazy, right? Imagine that, you're dodging the mines. Oh, better go get flowers. And now what's the last thing that we need to get, do, buy in the day? We need to change our tires from winter tires to summer tires. I haven't done that yet. What's mind file number 10 is a hen. Take your hen and your summer tires that you've got to put on in place of the winter tires, put that in a crazy combination? Well, the hen is barking commands at you, standing next to you while you're changing the tires, or the tires are made out of chickens, or as you drive, it's like bonk, 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 the sound that the car makes, the wheels make. It's going to remind you to change the tires. Don't get rid of it. What I've just done with you is I've taken you through a process that your mind is not used to. Right now you live in a society, in a world where you think logical. I've changed everything. I've made you think mad. Now, get a pen and paper, write a blank one, write down numbers 1 to 10. Now, I'm not going to give you the item I named, but I'm going to mention the association to you. So item number 1, think of number 1, your mind file was a gun. What were you doing with the gun? Think about it. Number 2 was a shoe. What were you putting into the shoe? Number 3 was a tree. What was somebody else doing the tree? What were you doing to the tree? How many fruits, vegetables, whatever was on the tree? Number 4 was a door. Where was the door? Number 5 was a beehive. You've got to think for yourself on this one. Number 6 was sticks. What were you or somebody else doing with the sticks? Number 7 was heaven. That should be easy for you, right? The clouds, the angels. Number 8 was a gate. Where was the gate? What were you doing? Number 9 was a mine. Why were there mines everywhere? Number 10 was a hen. Now, if you were to compare the first time you attempted to write down 10 things in order to now, odds are I would say that you got at least 8 right. You should have gotten 100% right. So if you got 2 right early on, you've kind of by 400% improved the way you think. If I say to you, what was item number 5, number 4, name to me the 10 things you had to do today backwards. You could do it. Let's start. Number 1 was the gun. What were you doing with the gun? You were shooting the milk. You had to get milk. Number 2 was the shoe. What were you putting in the shoe? The fuel or charging it up. I had to fuel or charge up my car. Number 3 was a tree. You were using a stethoscope to listen to the tree. There were 10 apples or fruit, or the doctor was doing that. You had to go to the doctor at 10. And number 4 was the door. Where was the door? In your shirt, because you were putting your money in there. Number 5 was a beehive. The bees were chasing the kids. You got to fetch them from school. Or the car looked like a beehive. Number 6 was sticks. The bank manager was hitting you with the sticks, or you were hitting him because you didn't get the loan. Okay? You had to go to the bank manager for a loan. Number 7 was heaven. Oh, the clouds were made of broccoli. You were feeding the angels broccoli. You see the crazy association. Number 8 was gate. Where was the gate on your computer screen? Because you had to send an email to who? To Greg. Number 9 was a mine. You forgot the flowers. Your wife wants to blow you up. Okay? Number 10 was a hen. The wheels were made from, you had to change winter tires to summer tires. Can you see how powerful an association is? What you've actually done, you spent 2 minutes making a crazy association. You concentrate on something you've never thought of before, and that brings everything back to you. Now, when you practice this, sometimes you might miss one of the associations or what it is. And if you go back to the original association you made, you'll see it wasn't crazy enough. The more crazy the thing you think about is, the faster, the easier you remember it. And look at the power of this. Literally in 10-15 minutes, you could never do this before, you can now ask anyone to name any 10 items to you, and you can say what number 5 was, number 7, instantly. You can even repeat it backwards. 10, 9, 8, 7. What if I go 10, oh, I had to change my winter tires to the summer tires. The 9th thing I had to do today, what was 9? Was mine. Oh, I had to get my flowers. You can, the power of this, and look how easy it is. So what are the advantages of learning a memory system or technique? Well, first of all, you don't have to write anything down. Isn't that amazing? Just that alone. Where's the pencil? I have to make notes. Easy. And then secondly, it's going to make you look really clever because you'll just remember things in any order. That is awesome too. And of course, in the advanced course, I teach you to remember names as well, which is a real problem with many people. So if you want to do that later, you're welcome to join in on the advanced course. Well, there you have it. Now you can remember 10 things in any order really fast. Isn't that just awesome? And look how easy it was. Was it that difficult? Now, my advanced courses are just as easy, and I take you through a 20-point system, a 30-point system, and I take you to an unlimited system. Imagine being able to remember any amount of things in any order, from 100 to 200 things. There's power over there. Right, I also teach mathematical skills. This website is called Mind Skills for You. It's all about skills here, which are easy. For me, I believe in simplicity. I gave you an example in the beginning of the 11 times table. 23 by 11, 253. Awesome. Now how did you do that? Imagine 69 by 11, 759. Whoa, imagine being able to do it that fast. Yes, you can. You can be as fast as a calculator. And instead of just standing here trying to impress you because I could be reading it off an auto cue, let me explain to you how powerful this is, so that now within 5 minutes, you'll be able to literally do any 11 multiplication times table in your mind as fast, if not faster, than a calculator. Let's start with 23. 23 by 11. Because it's 11, because 11 is 1 and 1, these are ones, the first and the last number will always remain the same because it's multiplied by 1. We've got to understand that first. Logical, right? Now with 23 as an example, 2 and 3, what you do. Now look how easy this is. And everybody's going to think you're so super clever. Look how easy it is. You take the 2 and the 3 and you add them together. 2 plus 3 equals 5. You put the 5 in the middle of the 2 and 3. There's your answer, 253. You didn't think it was that easy, did you? However, let's look at 69, because now this one's a bit different. It's still 2 digits, but if you add 6 and 9, that gives you 15. You can't put 15 in the middle because it's not 6,000, the answer. So what do you do now? Very easy. 6 and 9 is 15. You put the 5 in the middle. You carry the 1 over to the 6 and make that 7, so it becomes 759. Very easy to do in your head, isn't it? Now let's try another example about, let's say, 243. That's a 3-digit number. What do I add together now? Now it becomes confusing. Not at all. Because it's a multiplication of 11, the ones, the first and the last number always remain the same. So 243, you can immediately put the 2 down as the first digit for the answer. Now, you start adding pairs together. So you take the 2 and the 4, that's 6. So that's 2, and then 6 goes next to the 2. Then you move over, the 4 and the 3 is 7, so you move the 7 over, and then the last stays the same, the 3. So you got 2, 6, 7, 3. So you actually move the middle out. First and last always remain the same. Is that easy or what? What about 3425 times 11 is 37675? Yeah, whoa, that was fast, easy, look. And I'm trying to put a sidewinder in here because it's got a comma, it's a decimal, 3 point, doesn't matter. Now let's have a look at it, 3.425. What's the common secret? It's always the first and the last number are always the same. So first of all, we put down the 3. Now you're adding pairs together, starting with the first pair. So 3 and 4 is 7. So it's 3, and you put down the 7. Now it's 4 and 2 is 6. 3, 7, 6. Now 2 and 5 is 7. 3, 7, 6, 7. And you put the last 5 there. Obviously, if you think of 3 times 11 must be 30 something. So obviously the decimal goes to 37. And there's your answer, 37,675. Well, that's it. I do trust you've enjoyed the 2 skills I've shared with you, and that you will have them and be able to use them for the rest of your life. As I said to you in the beginning, for me, what I do, it's a calling. I love what I do and I love sharing. But it's also a profession. So at this point, I thank you for watching, and I trust you've seen how I've given freely in the spirit of giving. I have an advanced memory training course where I teach you to remember 20, 30 names, a completely different system. Then I teach you a system which is unlimited. I get so excited when I mention this. You can literally remember 100, 200, 2,000 things. It's unlimited, and it's as easy as what I showed you now. Then I'll give you some general information. I'll teach you how to remember names. Now, names. How many times has somebody introduced themselves to you and you've forgotten the name? This is the most common thing that happens to us in the world. I show you a system that you will never ever forget a name again. That you can walk into a social function and in your own time meet 20, 30, 100 people and walk out and greet everybody by name. In fact, I guarantee you'll be able to do that. I teach you some general tips, how to remember numbers. I teach you as well not to use a diary, and also study skills, how to study in a simpler, more effective way that you're going to remember it. I use a real example where I show you one sheet of just writing and facts, nonsensical, and I literally teach it to you parrot fashion within 5 minutes. It is unbelievable. So if you'd like to learn the advanced memory course, on this page below you see there's advanced memory course and advanced math course. So you just click on the advanced memory course. The price, if you had to learn this on your own, if you had to study all these different systems, I spent years studying them and have put together what I believe is the simplest, most effective way of doing this. It would cost you hundreds. I'm offering it to you for a once-off limited price of 97 euros. That's only 97 euros. The mathematics, I shared with you the 11 multiplications table. Wasn't that simple? Now over the years I've also studied different systems. I've presented it on youth programs, on television, all over the world, taught people how to just use their mind in a different way. That's why this site is called Mind Skills for You. Now all these techniques, addition, subtraction, multiplication, division, where you can do this as fast, if not faster than a calculator. The advanced math course is also on this homepage below the video. You just click on that, and also for a limited time only, 97 euros. These are full money back guarantee courses that I'm offering to you. Let's have some fun together, and let me share some more with you and teach you skills you're going to have for the rest of your life. From me, Wolfgang Riebe, I wish you an awesome day and look forward to seeing you on my advanced courses. Cheers!